government feels the pressure and releases those who are missing. In fact, there are calls already by the clergy, Kenyans, and civil societies to release for the Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja to resign, his counterpart, the DCI, that is the Director General, the Director DCI, also to resign, and as well the NIS boss, that is Nudin Haji, on accusations that they have failed in ensuring these abductions come to an end. Remember, President William Ruto had promised, but opposition and pro-government leaders have been training their guns on each other and, of course, blaming one another over these abductions. We'll be highlighting these, which will form a better part of our conversation this morning, even as today being on the 6th of January 2025, the school calendar of 2025 kicks off, and various challenges continue to plague the basic education sector. In fact, institutions are yet to receive 50% capitation funds, causing infrastructure crisis. Some learning institutions do not have grade 9 classrooms. As far as, of course, these capitations and delayed funding to the schools are concerned, principals have now defied the ministry's order and have increased school fees. You know, they cite, or they actually attribute to the underfunding from the government, which causes them to now pass the same to parents. And so parents in various, especially high schools, will be forced to pay more school fees in this year 2025. Textbook shortage is also hitting institutions, and now parents and booksellers are decrying, especially the delay by the government distribution program. We'll be highlighting on matters education, and of course, today we expect that the ministry will be also releasing the KPSEA results. That is today, and our education team and actually our education desk is ready to bring you those updates right here on K24. On matters politics, this is expected to be a political year. Already leaders have begun it on a high note. Now, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is alleging that there is a plot to revive the outlawed Mungiki sect. This is in a bid to tame his so growing popularity. And at the same time, Gachagua is inviting the International Criminal Court, ICC, to investigate violation of human rights and also crimes against humanity that have been committed in the past years by the outlawed sect, that is Mungiki. This appearing to be after Maina Njenga declared support for President William Ruto. He's a former leader of that sect. And Gachagua also this month of January is expected to craft a political party which will challenge President William Ruto come 2027. He's inviting friends to be on board. Kalonzo Musyoka, on the other hand, actually, with Azimio, he's keen to also form a coalition that will oust President William Ruto come 2027, as he will be seeking a re-election. On the other hand, President William Ruto is keen to also play the political cards well. This is, of course, by ensuring that Raila Odinga clinches the AUC bid that probably could translate to Odinga supporting his re-election come 2027. At the same time, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, 3 allies, close allies of the former president, will be vetted come Monday next week. That is on 13th of January 2025, before 3 committees of the National Assembly. That is, of course, includes other members that were nominated to various slots. And so we expect the likes of Mutahi Kagwe will soon join President William Ruto's government, broad-based government. Now, talk of Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro. his silence is too loud. And it has left Kenyans gazing on his political plan as we move forward. But of course, we'll be touching on that and other political matters, even as the Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has resurfaced. The other day we did a story asking, where is Kindiki? Several allegations were there, including a slap from one of the president's aides, but that was dismissed by the Kenya Kwanza blogger, that is Dennis Itumbi. And in fact, Kindiki himself stated that ignore everything you hear out there. And so we'll also be highlighting whether the second in command is a man in trouble. Talk to us via social media platforms at K24 TV, at Joel Chacha, as well on SMS and WhatsApp numbers on the bottom of their screens. I'll be glad to sample some of them before wrapping up New Dawn this morning. In studio, I'll be joined by key guests. That is Ruth Ambogo. She is a lawyer. Sheila Olang, economist and a political analyst. And as well, Odoyo Owidi, a political analyst. But before that, let's recap these stories where allies of President William Ruto are now accusing Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya of working together with the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to destabilize the government. Speaking during an interdenominational prayer service in Kerio Valley, Elgeyo Marakwet County, the leaders want Kenyans to give President Ruto time to deliver, even as they assured the head of state of a second term in office. However, sentiments from Tiati Member of Parliament warning critics to be careful have raised eyebrows as he alluded to an extension of the presidential term limits. The leaders further blamed lack of discipline on the recent wave of social media criticism by the youth. Martin Opio tells us more.
Kerio Valley in Elgeyo Marakwet. President William Ruto and his allies joined faithfuls for an interdenominational service. The service turned into another former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua attack, but enjoining Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya, who criticized the government over rising abduction spree. Government allies are maintaining that Natembeya and Gachagua are working together to destabilize the country.
Kuna wakora ambaye wanasumbua serikali, ambao walikuwa kwenye serikali iliyopita, ambao wanaongozwa na former Deputy President na pamoja na mwenye alikuwa RC, sasa sijui ni governor ya wapi. Kama kuna watu, Your Excellency, ambaye waliua watu, ambao walifanya program ya kumaliza watu, na ambao walikuwa naongozwa na huyu Natembeya, governor ya pande ile, na ndio kiongozi wao ni former Deputy President mwenye alikuwa anapanga kupindua serikali. Sasa hiyo group, wacha niwaambie, we have no time for you.
Abduction isile nilisikia huyo governor Natembeya akiongea jana, bado siku moja wasee hawa Council of Elders tutaita huyo Natembeya arudi hapa atuambie MCA Kiptire na Minito nani aliwaua.
Tiati Member of Parliament William Kamket raised eyebrows with his defense to the president when he alluded that President William Ruto is here to stay despite the criticism, saying that just like Moi's 24-year rule, Rift Valley can decide to extend the president's term limit past the constitutionally allowed 10 years.
Na wakicheza, rais, unajua mimi natoka kaunti ya 24. Kaunti ya Baringo, sisi ndio tunajua mambo ya 24 years. Sisi ndio tunajua kwa manufacture rais akae 24. So wakicheza, hata tunasambia wewe rais endelea kidogo. Kwani iko nini?
However, the president shied away from commenting on the matter, but his opinion was shut down by Kapseret Member of Parliament Oscar Sudi.
Mwingine anasema sijui nini hapo. Mai kuona inji yenye mtu anaenda tamu moja. Kuna hiyo.
Ile siasa ya duni ya ukabila na chuki na kugawanya watu. Tumepata ushindi mkubwa dhidi ya hizo changamoto za siasa short-sighted.
Sudi, just like the rest of those in attendance, blamed the rise in abductions on lack of discipline urging parents to take up the role of teaching morals to their kids.
Ile maneno kwa mtandao siku hizi ukiona, halafu mtu mmoja watu wanasimama watu wachache hapo, oh rais anafanya hii, oh maneno abduction, oh maneno ya nini. Unajua rais pia umenikosea kidogo. Ile siku nyingine ulitangaza waziri, nilikuwa nafikiri unasema Kipchumba Sudi. Kumbe akakuwa Kipchumba Murkomen. Tena juzi nimesikia tena nilikuwa nategea ukasema tena Kipchumba Murkomen. Sasa wangenipatia hiyo docket hiyo ya usalama siku 3 peke yake. Hiyo watoto na ujinga hiyo ya kuchora vitu kwa maneno itaisha. Kwa sababu lazima tu hakuna inji inaongozwa na upuzi. Lazima inji yote inaongozwa na katiba na heshima. Si ni kweli? Yeah. Na mtu asikutisha rais. Unajua mimi nasikia naona yule mtu tulivuguza baada anaongea hapo. Mwingine anasema sijui nini hapo. Oh my, kuona inji yenye mtu anaenda tamu moja. Hakuna hiyo. Wataruka juu chini. Lakini mambo itakuwa sawa.
Tunapotusiwa sisi kama wamama kwa sababu haistahili hivyo. Kwa hivyo nataka niseme leo hapa ya kwamba kila mzazi awajibike kwa nidhamu ya mtoto wake.
The church was not spared as the clergy that has been critical of the government was termed as a cartel-led clergy.
Minyi ndugu zangu viongozi wa makanisa kote nchini ambayo tunasikiza na kufurahia amani hapa, tusiwe wenye kuchochea uhasama, inchi irudi kwenye mtaro ambaye hatuna uwezo wa kurudisha.
Mimi nataka niombe rais, sisi wote ni binadamu, tunakosea, si ni kweli? Nilikuwa naona bishops wetu wakisoma ile kusema wakora sijui nini. Lakini nikuambia rais, maajabu, hawa wananchi ndio wanajua, kwa sababu hao ndio wanatoa pesa kwa harambee. Wanajua uzito ya kanisa. Hawa fathers wadogo hawana issue. Hawa wale bishop wachache pale juu ni cartels.
But the president insists that since the formation of the broad-based government and the ouster of his former DP, the country has seen tremendous growth economically as peace and unity have been the order of the day.
Wengine pale nyuma tulikuwa tunanyosheana vidole. Ni huyu, ni yule, ni huyo mwingine. Lakini wakati viongozi walishikamana na tukakubaliana hii amani ni ya muhimu kwetu sisi zote, mbali na mahali ama sehemu tunawakilisha, peace is the greatest ingredient for any meaningful development in any constituency or county or ward.
They now want Kenyans to give the president time to deliver without distractions.
Sisi tunajua where we are coming from as a country under your leadership, and we know where we are. Similarly, we know where we are going to. Na kwa hivyo mambo ya siasa, Mheshimiwa Rais, mimi nataka kuomba hawa watu ambao wanatisha kila wakati ya kwamba waache vitisho baridi. Mheshimiwa Rais, wakati wa siasa ukifika, tutamenyana vilivyo. Mheshimiwa Rais, chini yako Mheshimiwa. Kwa hivyo mambo ya kucheza kabla ya mchezo wa kwanza waache. They may dance themselves lame before the real dance begins.
Wale ambao wanamkejeli, wanamchekelea rais, wanamdhalilisha, mimi nawaambia kama tu vile hapa Kerio Valley, baada ya muda matokeo na matunda ya kazi nzuri ambayo amefanya imetokea, nina imani kwamba katika taifa letu la Kenya mambo mazuri yatazidi kutokea kulingana na uongozi ambao rais wetu anaendelea kufanya. Asante rais, kwa sababu wewe hukutapatapa. Ungekuwa ni mtu muoga, pengine ungestuliwa na kuacha ile mpango mzuri ambao ulikuwa naye.
Ahadi ya serikali chini ya uongozi wako Mheshimiwa Rais haiwezi ikawekwa ile tunaita lebo ya kuwa ni uongo. How? Bado miaka 5 haijaisha ambao umepewa na wananchi hawa. Siishi alafu tujue kama ilikuwa ni uongo au ilikuwa ni kweli.
Martin Opio, K24 TV, Nairobi.
Meanwhile, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is now alleging a plot by the government to actually prop a criminal gang akin to the outlawed Mungiki sect. According to the ousted DP, this is in a bid to neutralize his influence in the vote-rich Mount Kenya region. Gachagua has since instructed legislators allied to him to write to the International Criminal Court over the gangs which he says have been raining terror on area residents. Gachagua also slammed the government over its stance on the recent spate of abductions in the country.
Amid continued rumbling across the vast Mount Kenya region as political intrigues take center stage, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is alleging the presence of a criminal gang that he says has been raining terror in the Mount Kenya region and has been regrouped by the government. Gachagua has to this end instructed legislators allied to him to write to the International Criminal Court ICC, emphasizing the need for investigations to be conducted over crimes against humanity.
Honorable Kagusha, you must get a team of lawyers and start engaging the International Criminal Court. That the ICC should not wait until crimes against humanity have been committed. This gang is known to have committed crimes against humanity. Now, with the sponsorship of government, they have come back. Get a team of lawyers to write to the ICC to invite them to come to Kenya and make sure that the activities of that criminal gang sponsored by government is not allowed to take place.
His sentiments comes just days after former Mungiki leader Maina Njenga declared support for the Kenya Kwanza administration, rubbishing claims that President William Ruto had lost support in the vast Mount Kenya region and calling on residents to support the regime of the day. Gachagua, while addressing congregants in Tetu, Nyeri County, claimed that Maina Njenga is being used by the current regime to cause mayhem in the vast Mount Kenya region, noting that the move is politically instigated.
Government has been managing the economy. It has become unpopular. People have started saying no. The same gang leader ametafutwa na serikali na ameletwa hapa to force the people of this region to accept the president and his deputy. Wamekuja hapa 31st. Huyo kiongozi ametangaza mchana that amepewa kazi na serikali ya kuzunguka katika mlima Kenya to force the people to accept the president and his deputy and to escort the leaders ambayo wamekataliwa na watu wakuje mashinani. Sisi tunauliza president, tafadhali, hao watu ya area hii walikuchagua kwa upendo mwingi sana. Kama wanakukataa, ujaribu kujua ni kwa nini. Lakini usirudie ile moja alifanya, kutuma hicho kikundi kuja kuhangaisha watu ya mlima Kenya.
The former DP also took issue with the National Police Service, claiming that instead of dealing with the gang, the NPS was aiding their existence. As much as abductions continue to take center stage, with a fresh wave of demonstrations scheduled for tomorrow, amid claims of the youth abducting themselves, the ousted DP slammed the government over its stance and turning a blind eye on the same.
We would like to ask our leaders, waheshimu wa Kenya. Kwa sababu Father Patrick, saa ile viongozi wanasimama kusema ati vijana wetu ndio wanajiteka nyara. Sasa mili imepatikana 3. Sasa wewe ulisema vijana wanajiteka nyara, unataka kutuambia ya kwamba hao vijana wamejiteka nyara, wamejiua na wamejitupa kwa mtaro? Ni makosa sana kubeba wa Kenya kama ni wajinga.
Elsewhere, Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki has now issued a stern warning to leaders who have been criticizing the government recently, stating that their administration will not sit back and allow the public to be influenced by falsehood and divisive rhetoric. During his address in Embu County, Kindiki, along with other leaders, assured that the government will soon restore order and stability, saying that measures are already underway to address the challenges inherited from the previous regime. Kindiki spoke while attending a church service in Embu County hours after it was believed he would have joined the president in Iten, actually on Sunday for the interdenominational prayer, as our reporter David Kagina reports.
Speaking during a Thanksgiving service at the Full Gospel Church in Kamumu, located in Mbeere North, Embu County, Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki joined other leaders in what was turned to a forum to address the ongoing tensions involving government and former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. In a subtle yet firm message to Gachagua, Kindiki emphasized the importance of leaders prioritizing national development and avoiding divisive statements that might incite the public.
Kama wewe uko na hasira zako na mambo ya visirani, usituletee visirani yako. Please, na tuheshimiane. I repeat, tuheshimiane. Mimi heshima zote nimekupatia, but you must also respect me. Kwa sababu mimi naona mahali tunaendelea, kuna mahali tunataka kufika.
Kindiki dismissed critics who interpreted his silence as a sign of weakness or discord with President William Ruto, describing their efforts to discredit his leadership as futile. He maintained that his commitment to delivering results for Kenyans will speak louder than words.
There is a difference between leadership and populism. Those are two different things. Leadership ni kufanya majukumu kubwa, kuchukua kilio cha wananchi na kujaribu kutatua shida za wananchi, sio kutafuta makofi na kutafuta kupigia watu wengine makelele.
Kindiki also issued a strong warning that the government would no longer remain silent while the public is misled by falsehood and personal attacks. He further criticized those trying to undermine his leadership and sow discord within the government in what appeared to be a jab at his predecessor.
Kazi ya kupiga kelele ni kazi ya mtu ameshindwa. When you are unable to articulate yourself, you make noise. Isn't it? When you are unable to persuade other people, you make noise.
Various leaders present during the meeting expressed their unwavering support for Kindiki, praising his resilience and leadership. They further reaffirmed that the government is united and focused on its development agenda, while expressing their displeasure with Gachagua's utterances.
Kama mimi nimetoka Mathira na ninafuata huyu Kithure Kindiki na Rais William Ruto, nyinyi mtaenda kutafuta watu wengine, mtafuta ya kina nani?
Sasa Kenya tuko na naibu rais mpya na anaitwa Profesa Kithure Kindiki. Yeye na rais yetu William Ruto watabadilisha hii Kenya yetu.
Sababu healing stage, mtu akiwa amepata shida iko na stages, kuna denial nini ndio ufika acceptance. So mwache aongee hizo mambo yote ndio imtoke.
Kindiki's visit to Embu County comes as a charm offensive to the region following recent incidents where the president was heckled during a visit of the region and Public Service CS Justin Muturi unable to read President William Ruto's message of condolences during the burial of former Embu Senator Lenny Kivuti's son owing to boos from the public. David Kagina, K24 TV.
With that story from Embu, we now take a short commercial break. Remember, when we come back, we'll be focusing on the state of the nation once again in studio. I'll be joined by Sheila Olang, an economist and a political analyst, Odoyo Owidi, a political analyst, and Ruth Ambogo, a lawyer. Keep the conversation going via social media platforms at K24 TV, at Joel Chacha, as well on SMS and WhatsApp numbers on the bottom of your screens. We'll be right back with that conversation. Stay tuned.
Mr. DJ, Lucky.